Feywilds. Odds are you've heard of them. A plain on the border of ours filled with lush greenery, exotic wildlife, and the typical pranksters, Fey. Well, maybe that was true once. Or maybe them were just stories. The Feywilds are dry, barren, deadly. The Fey we've heard stories about live in fear of what they call devils. There's something that followed us in when we left to venture outside our home plane. They ain't got the red skin and horns like the man they made a deal with, no. They're normal folk, cursed from a deal they made out of desperation. They're a perversion of their desires and morals. A monster, living only on instinct and survival. Well, they was supposed to be anyway. Hi, I'm Connor, your storyteller and GM. Welcome to the Feywild West. The sounds of church bells ring as you're all ushered into the harsh desert sun. The red sand reflecting the heat back up at you as you are brought in front of a large crowd, gathering to watch. The sounds of chains accompany your steps as you climb the wooden steps to the gallows. The hired hands place you apart under a set of nooses. Staring at you is a crowd of humans, elves, dwarves, and the more native Furbolg. The sheriff takes a step forward. These 3 men have acted on evil intentions, causing harm to the people at Crossroads. Regardless of how they got here, I hope they find peace in death. The armed men that were keeping watch step forward, lowering the noose around the 3 of your necks and tightening them.
Hi, I'm Casey, and I play Scarlet Embrace, a trickster rogue plasmoid. I can't speak verbally, but I can communicate telepathically through my familiar Cerise, who speaks for me.
Scarlet, you stand in front of the bars of a jail cell. The sheriff walks up to you. Even if this is for the paper, I can't just let you in. I don't think they'd hurt you, but it'd be my head if they did. Most I can do is put you in the hard interview with one of them at a time.
Yeah, that should be fine. I think that should be perfectly fine.
Scarlet, you are ushered into a side room. The dusty plain room is decorated with nothing but a single table in the center. Bars welded to the top of the table, specifically the side closest to the door. There's 2 opposing chairs, one by the bars and one not.
Hello, I'm Abigail, and I'm playing the Weeping Reaper. He's a shadow sorcerer, and he's my little favorite guy.
He's also a Kenku.
Oh yeah, he's a Kenku. He's a little bird man.
They call you the Weeping Reaper, and I apologize if this is hard to describe. Why is that?
He takes back the notepad, and he writes down that, supposedly, according to the sheriff, he would stalk out into the night, wait for somebody to pass by, and mimic the cries of a previous victim. They're screaming, they're fighting, and play until somebody came to investigate, and then he would jump them and kill them and eat them.
All the others seem to have at least some sort of recollection, at least somewhat, of what happened during that sort of, I guess, that period between the deal and now. They could at least tell that they felt like something happened. Do you think what you're accused of is accurate?
He turns the notebook back around, flips up the page to get a fresh one, and he writes, I have no memory of anything that happened while I was in that in-between state, but I did wake up right in front of a maimed, fleshy corpse as a giant bird.
Hi, I'm Katie or Cassie, whatever you prefer. I am a blood hunter, Order of the Lycan. I am technically a Minotaur, not really. That's just for the racial stuff. They refer to me as the Livestalker.
All right, well, we'll go with Livestalker for now. What led you to be here? Why did you end up getting put into this jail?
Woke up out in the desert.
I did do some research into you all. If you don't know exactly what it is, I could tell you some of it.
Yeah, go for it.
If I recall, all the others that were here had some sort of legend around their whole situation. You seem to have as well. I believe, kind of like flips through a couple pages. Livestalker stalks the surrounding landscape, occasionally stealing away livestock or digging up fresh graves, taking the corpse inside, always in the dead of night.
Yeah, well, I don't remember doing any of that, so...
That seems to be a pattern so far. If that helps you at all.
Not really, no.
Hi, my name's Remo. I'm playing Lingering End, functionally a druid grung, but more cosmetically kind of like a ghoul from Fallout.
The Lingering End. Why do they call you that?
I hold my, right hand up. When people touch I lift the glove up a little bit and you can see like bone under they don't last much longer after that.
Does the name Coyote ring any bells?
Holy shit, yeah.
It seems it's not uncommon for most of at least the devils I've met so far that are at least sentient to know of this individual. I walked out of that jailhouse with more questions than I started. Coyote. It seems it's accurate that only the devils that have interacted with this coyote have gained some level of sentience. It's possible all of them have. When I woke up yesterday, I thought I would end up in a much worse situation for myself, given the wanted posters of me plastered around town. However, instead of winding up inside the jailhouse, I'm in front of it. Oh, the irony of it all.
Scarlet, you notice a few tumbleweeds begin to blow in with the wind, and one pushes against your legs. When you glance at it, you spot attached to one of its limbs is a letter with a red wax seal over the fold.
I open it.
You see a official-looking document that says, "Before the outlying devils face trial, I wish to meet with them privately in my manor. They are to report to me immediately, along with that red-eyed reporter fella, and they are given 48 hours reprieve from any and all repercussions of past crimes." Signed, Governor Wilcox. "These 3 men have acted on evil intentions, causing harm to the people at Crossroads. Regardless of how they got here, I hope they find peace in death." The armed men that were keeping watch stepped forward, lowering the noose around the 3 of your necks and tightening them. The tumbleweed next to Scarlet, you can hear a voice in your head as it kind of shakes a little bit. "You'll never find answers if you let them die."
I know. I was getting there. Okay.
I'm gonna fight against the person tightening the noose around me.
Excuse me. I found it. Hang on. I passed the letter over to Cerise, and then Cerise is just gonna
Fly over.
Yeah, basically.
Alright, Cerise flies over with the letter in hand. Livestock, you're kind of pushing back against this guy. He looks fucking terrified.
In the meantime, Reaper's all flattened down. He's all shrunken out himself, almost submissively.
I got a letter from the mayor directly to deliver over to you.
"We don't got no mayor, but..."
Governor, that's what I said.
The sheriff takes the letter, reads it over. "Alright, boys. Loosen those ropes. Wilcox is giving them the slip. I'll deal with the crowd if you boys take him to the courthouse. And you..." And he points to Scarlet Embrace out there hiding in black and white.
He just points at himself.
Yep, and he just kind of nods a little bit. "You go with him. Obviously, you got some extra connections I don't."
Just gives a thumbs up.
The crowd gets noticeably angry and loud watching the nooses removed and the cuffs unlocked. Now, just like I said before, this comes straight from the top. I can't do nothing about it." As the men begin to usher you down the street, a section of the crowd follows. They get close, screaming in your face, spitting curses, insults, while the armed men try to create something of a barrier between you and them. It lasts only a minute before you're brought to a giant white-bricked building with flowing red flags adorned all around it. You are almost pushed inside, all 4 of you, and the door is slammed shut behind you. Inside is a large, spotlessly cleaned white marble atrium, with 2 sets of red carpeted stairs that converge together near a second level.
Well, this is swanky.
Reaper kind of hesitantly starts to look around and pad closer to the stairs.
Horrified, legs shaking, almost just died, slowly going up the stairs, but yes.
Reaper notices that he's like everybody's really tense, so he starts to like whistle a tune on the way up.
Makes it more ominous.
As you reach the top, you're met with a large wooden double door. Before you can even knock, it swings open, showing a large office space with a large angular desk in the middle. To your right, you see a black and green egg encased in a glass display case, and on your left, a baby crib, clean and without even a scratch.
Reaper starts to go over to the egg immediately, and he points at it and he signs, "Egg, baby cold?"
I don't think we should touch anything in here.
He starts to hoo, and he starts wrapping his arms around it, and all his feathers start to fluff up.
So the governor isn't in this room?
Correct.
Okay. Just gonna stalk around, pissed off for a second, I guess, and then sit down on the table.
Haha, I get it.
Reaper, in sign language, points to the crib, and then signs, "You think the crib is for whatever hatches from the egg?" And his whole head goes all the way forward till the mask, like, gently smacks into the side of the glass upside down.
Since this is the first time Reaper has really spoken in that way, are you using arcane sign language?
Yeah, he's using arcane sign language.
Why don't you explain what that looks like?
So whenever Reaper signs, using sign language, a black inky text oozes up from the shadows, from the closest one to him, to form any kind of lettering, and the font will change depending on his feelings. So if he's nervous, it'll be like kind of smaller, or like the handwriting's shaky, etc. If he's really mad, it gets really big.
That's so cool, actually.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think I know what to do here. I'm gonna go search the table for a secret button.
Sure, why don't you give an investigation for me?
Okay. I know exactly what to do. 22.
It's a 22 on investigation. You're looking for a secret button?
I'm looking for the secret button to open the secret passage.
Okay, you do find a button.
Aha!
Before you can press it, you see some smoke start to billow up from literally 1 foot behind you, right where the seat would have been for the desk. The plume of smoke rises from behind the desk, forming into the shape of a dragonborn. A dragonborn with deep crimson scales and glowing yellow eyes, adorned with a full white suit, tie, and top hat. Well, y'all made yourselves comfortable.
Reaper's feathers all kind of start to fluff up and stand on end, and he uses a minor illusion to squint the eye holes of his mask.
I have a question. When you stop hugging the glass, is there kind of like when a bird hits a window and there's like the dirt all around the glass case?
Well, I'm assuming since he hasn't had a chance to take a bath.
Okay.
There's just like the feathery imprint.
So there's just black soot all over the glass now.
Yeah.
I love. Okay. Well, if it ain't the devils I know, it's the devils I don't. Well, welcome, y'all. Now, I'm just dying to get to know everybody. So let's start with names to go by. You can call me Wilcox. I'm the governor around here. And what can I call you all? Starting with the one under my desk looking for something.
Oh, me. Yeah, I'll properly introduce myself. So, just for clarity's sake, whenever I'm speaking in that sort of higher pitch with that other accent, that is Cerise talking. I'm not Cerise. Cerise is the cat. My name is Scarlet.
All right, Scarlet. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. And now for the one that's been giving me dagger eyes this entire time, sitting on my desk. I apologize if you had to wait for a little bit. I had to deal with something else.
It's Livestalker.
Livestalker.
That's what your people call me.
And now for the other two. The one that was hugging the display case over there. What's your name?
He signs Reaper, and the text comes up like that metal font.
Oh, yeah?
It's all scratchy. And he goes back to trying to warm this egg, letting instinct take over. And if a territorial who comes out every once in a while.
And the last one that's a little bit kind of awkward, standing off to the side there.
Just in the middle of the room. Lingering in, and then I'd stick my hand out to shake his hand before I, realize and tighten my glove a little bit and stand back.
I would have shook in your hand, but you're just way over there now. Well, it is a pleasure to meet y'all. Now, I know things might be a bit tense and all. The angry mob outside, you was just about to be hanged, but luckily we got that put on hold. And quite frankly, I don't think that'll be enough now, will it?
Reaper does a hesitant nod.
Well, it's not a problem for friends and fiends of mine, because I'll give y'all a full pardon if you do one small favor for me. Of course, I'll explain the details first. There's there's this thing. Is another devil. It's been an obstacle to a possession of mine for a while. I'd be oh so happy if you could retrieve that possession of mine. And I figured the best that could get around a devil would be devils themselves.
What exactly does this possession... What exactly is it, I guess?
It's just a little lockbox. Not even like a foot wide.
Sounds pretty easy. What do you all think?
A full pardon?
Full pardon.
I'm game.
Reaper starts to sign that he wants it in writing.
Oh, you want it in writing?
He nods.
That we can do. He snaps his fingers, and flames kind of appear with a contract that shows up on his desk, and he pulls out a pen.
I suddenly very much disagree with that with that agreement. I very much disagree with what you just did.
He pulls out a pen and goes, "All right, we'll get it in writing."
I want to read this thing.
This is Satan.
I think I could just trust his word. I don't need to sign anything. I think I'll be
No,
fine.
I already got the paper out. Let's go ahead and put it together.
I already said yes. These three, they were the ones that are kind of apprehensive about it.
I mean, I personally said I was game already. But I am reading over this thing.
Okay.
Reaper also wants to read over it.
It's pretty much, if you bring him the lockbox that is being guarded by a devil known as White Lies, then you will, all four of you, will receive a full pardon from any crimes that you've committed against Crossroads.
Reaper signs.
Alright.
Unless there was like a roll to look further into that, but isn't that like all it said?
You can do a roll if you want.
I need to know if this thing is real. Am I looking at what it actually says? Alright, not so great, guys.
I rolled 2, I got a 13.
I got an 8.
But still, this was like a 14 total.
You guys are kind of looking at it. You don't see anything particular out of place. You don't see any hidden ink anywhere. You don't see any loopholes or anything that you might be able to kind of get by. Seems pretty simple. Bring the lockbox, gain a full pardon.
I'll sign it.
I mean, I'll just outright ask you, just to be totally upfront. There's nothing secret or whatever about this. It's just we get this box, we give it to you, and we're all good to go.
Of course. All good to go.
I don't know why, but I don't like the way you said that, but okay, that's fine with me. Does anyone have a pen? Mine runs off of blood, and I don't want to sign this contract in blood. That does not sound like a good idea.
Reaper's head shoots over to you,
Oh,
and he
Hello.
looks right at your pen, and he takes a feather out from one of his wings, just like, not a major one, and he signs, "I'll trade you for your pen."
I mean, do you got ink that I could use to write on this contract first?
He signs, "Nope," but he's already reaching for your pen.
Okay, I'll just go ahead. He took it. Okay, well, I'll just use a feather then. That's fine.
Reaper, you can't see what all he does, but you see it slip underneath the mask without moving it up or anything, and he sticks the pen in his mouth, and you hear like a slurping sound, like from a fast food restaurant cup that's like almost empty.
I sign it with ink, not blood.
Okay.
Just to be
He
clear.
snatches his feather back when he's done.
What the?
He doesn't even like use it. He just puts it back in his pocket.
We made what? Okay, well,
That's 3 out of 4.
everybody turns slowly to look at.
Yeah, you really haven't moved since we entered the room.
Reaper holds out his feather for you.
Everyone staring at me makes me speed walk to the paper and not even think about signing it. Just do it.
Just like child handwriting, it says "lingering end" in all caps.
Just absolutely terrified at 4 people staring at me.
So with that he goes, "Wonderful. Now this is legally binding." And he pulls it back. "All I need is that lockbox, of course. Let me give you some more information, cause even though I was like, oh, it'd be great for y'all to get around this devil, given that you're devils, seeing how you almost got hung, if you were as strong as maybe you were before, probably wouldn't have happened. I can only make a guess that you may not be as strong as some of the other ones, so I would highly recommend to avoid fighting it. There's some other headhunters that know a little bit more about it. Over down at the saloon. I know Gus knows a little bit. Talk to him."
Reaper's feathers start to stand on end at the mention of the saloon.
"It would be real bad for me to send you in unarmed, so why don't you go down to the Smith's building, and we'll get you outfitted with some general headhunter gear. And if you live, you get to keep it."
Okay, that's fine by me. Sure.
Reaper kind of whistles and nods.
I mean, I won't say no.
Reaper points to the cradle again and signs, "What is that for?"
Oh, I'm expecting.
Congrats.
Reaper signs. Oh, I didn't notice you. You aren't even showing.
Oh, it ain't quite like that. Oh, but I am very excited. It's been a long time coming.
Nothing about this seems nice and family.
Reaper signs. How long?
Lingering end. Because I know you just mentioned like, oh, I don't think this sounds too family. You can roll insight.
I do very much.
All right, then absolutely.
It's an 11.
With an 11, yeah, you can tell it's not as nice as you could probably think it would be.
Reaper's feathers are all still standing up, and he's looking down at Remo with his wing wrapped around his back.
Did he say anything about opening the box? I don't think he said anything.
He did not say anything about opening the box.
Cool. Okay. Fantastic.
That box getting opened.
Oh, it's super getting opened.
Oh, absolutely, of course.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it.
I'm glad we're all on the same page.
I was waiting. Look, I just wanted to make sure the contract didn't say not to open the box, and I'd be like, fuck.
No, the contract is really simple. It's bring the box back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think, guys, we should definitely start heading over. The faster we do this, the faster. Well, I don't know if the people outside will be happy with us, but
Don't you worry about that. They'll probably be barking up here until they get tired and go home. But I can just pop you right over to where you need. Where you want to go first?
I think I'd rather walk.
You want to walk out through that crowd?
Yes.
I don't think it's a good idea, but
We're on official business. We got a contract signed.
Reaper says he wants to go to the armory.
also aggravating them unnecessarily is probably going to cause issues.
There's nothing aggravating about it. I'm going to ignore them as I walk by.
Reaper points down to little Lynn, lingering end, and signs, "This poor little fellow's gonna get trampled."
I mean, you guys can teleport on over there, whatever this guy wants to do. I'm fine just walking.
Not that little.
Weepy, you can go with Lingering End. I'll go with the Livestalker. I haven't got a name for you yet, but I'll get one.
Alright, well I'll go ahead and teleport a couple of y'all. As he snaps his fingers, fire engulfs your vision and body. You only feel a heat flash before it's gone, and you find yourself standing right outside of the blacksmiths.
Reaper signs, "Oh, nice."
As for the other two, Wilcox walks you down the stairs and over towards the front door. Well, I have to say, I really enjoy your moxie. Walking through that angry crowd. It might be a bit of a problem. There might be some angry bounty hunters out there thinking, man, what a big old bounty I could have gotten from them. It's nice to know there's someone that'll walk through and show them not to fight.
Do you think you could do us a favor? The whole, 48-hour pardon thing? I think it'd be better if we don't have them chasing us down while we're dealing with your whole situation. I don't know if they know about it or anything.
It's only a one-day horse ride out west. You'll be out there and back with just enough time. Couple hours at most.
I just meant telling that, you know what?
Oh, and one more thing. And he stops you both right by the front door. Just in case y'all was thinking of just skipping town, if you'll bring that lockbox back to me safely, I'll fill you in on how to get your bodies back. And the door slammed behind you. And you are now face to face with the angry crowd that is right outside the door.
I'm just going to start walking.
Why don't you roll intimidation for me?
Alright. That is a 19.
Damn. They clear a path. At first they start getting mad and they get in your face a little bit, but then something about your eyes just kind of gets to them and they just kind of start backing up and they kind of literally part the sea a little bit for you so you can just walk right through.
I don't think intimidating them was a good idea, but if we're trying to get in their good graces, but sorry about the whole lying thing. I kind of didn't want to get put in jail because my bounty was I feel like mine was bigger than those, wasn't it? I don't remember.
It wasn't said in session, but Casey, I think yours is 500 gold.
Oh,
Damn, I was hoping I had the least bounty.
Mine was the babiest. I guess in comparison it wasn't as bad. Mine was only 500, but I mean, we're all kind of in the same boat here.
What was everyone's bounties? Now I'm just curious.
If I recall, he starts flipping through his notebook. Weepy's was 800. Again, mine was 500. Yours was 1100, and then Linger and Ellie, that's a good one. Ellie's was about 3000.
Holy shit! What the fuck did... Sorry, that nervous little thing?
Well, maybe I don't know if you talk too much. You all have a lot in common, by the way. Just touching people was killing them, was the whole thing, if I recall.
Like just tap you and you're dead?
I presume any part of him touching anybody would be detrimental to them.
That's good to know. I'd rather not just, accidentally kill myself by touching someone.
So you walk over to Blacksmith. It's here that you kind of realize that this side of town, actually pretty small. All the buildings are just kind of along one street. Pretty easy to get across. You separating was just a way of showing these people not to fuck with you, which is fucking cool.
I just wanted to get that out of the way right away.
As you approach Reaper and Leering in, you can just see that he's got, like, his mask is being cradled in his hand. Like, this is doing so well for our reputation.
Well, personally, I'm just glad to see you didn't get eviscerated. I did not trust that was a teleport whatsoever.
Reaper signs that it wouldn't do much to have us sign a contract and then immediately kill us, when we could have just died at the nooses anyway.
You know, Weeby makes a fair point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust rich folk like that.
Reaper signs, that's fair.
Real.
And then,
Just don't trust
without a moment later, he stretches his wings out, and he wraps it around all of you to kind of pull you in and make you listen. And he signs, in a much smaller text, "There's a fucking baby in that box, right?"
Can we have this conversation? I mean, we got a day's travel. We could talk about this
We
then
are
whenever
right
no one else will
outside the
definitely
Smiths.
see any of
What?
this.
Well, he's signing it, so he's not speaking about it.
Oh, no, I know. It's like, but they'll
Okay.
hear us. And so I think
Group huddle.
let's just hold off on this
wings.
conversation. Okay, this is going to be a bit now where it's a group huddle. We're just fucking
You get inside Reaper's wings.
cover us in wings.
He retracts his wings and kind of stretches out.
I want to lean over. There's definitely a baby in that fucking box.
Reaper really quickly is like, "I fucking know it, dude."
Okay, is anyone listening in?
No one's really around you right now.
Okay.
And nobody can listen to Reaper.
So, from the outside of the blacksmith building, you see two doors. One standing open with a trail of sandy footprints leading inside and out on your left. And on your right is a closed door with finely swept flooring. And it seems to be a lot more well kept. Where are you going?
The counter with the sandy footprints in front of it.
When you walk inside the two doors, they continue their charade. The messy footprints lead through a disorganized space crammed with different sharpened weapons stacked on top of each other, while the single closed door leads through a neatly organized shop showcasing firearms and attachments in clean glass displays. There are sales counters at the end of each side of the room, and you hear a voice coming from the left side, the dirty side. "Welcome to the Smiths! Oh, I heard about you! You're the devils! Those ones I can think of the like, right?"
As soon as he starts talking, you see an illusion pop up above Reaper's head that's a big ol' exclamation point.
I was about to say, it's just an exclamation point. Just, whoop.
Bang! Like Metal Gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You see a dark-skinned dwarf wearing a black suit jacket with a tan vest underneath. "How can I help y'all? Looking to buy, rent, need a loan? What do you want? What do you like? What do you need?"
The governor said we were coming here to arm ourselves to deal with a situation he had. Actually, I think I'm pretty sure I have what I need. What about you all?
Reaper makes an outline with his finger in the air of the repeater and the 6-shooter he had. And the line where he traces stays as he moves his finger along.
"Oh, y'all here for guns?
Yeah.
Something about the governor. Oh, are you them new headhunters?
Reaper chirps.
Yeah.
What that one said.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful. We'll get you set up. Let me go get my brother real quick." And you watch as the dwarf turns around. The sounds of bones cracking fill your ears as his limbs bend in reverse. His clothing immediately and noticeably different. The back of his head, that's another face.
Oh.
Here you see the same dark-skinned dwarf, but the face looks a little bit more different. He's wearing black overalls and an oil-stained tan undershirt, with one strap just kind of holding it all together. It's the troublemakers. Here for the guns you stole?
Reaper nods.
Stole?
What?
Skull?
That one stole some guns. That being said, it was for some fucking idiots.
Reaper whistles.
Come on, over to my side. And he kind of hobbles out from behind the counter and walks over to the clean side of the building.
Go over to the other side.
Yeah, Reaper does his little
Like
hop
6
over there.
steps away.
It is like 6 steps away. He gets behind the other counter, and he just kind of reaches down and goes, "Alright, Reaper, I got your 6-shooter and your repeater. You know, the ones you took off the horses of those headhunters. As for the rest of you, I got a couple repeaters and a sawed-off left over. You, big one, livestalker. Why don't you take the sawed-off, and for the rest of you, you grab these repeaters. You don't look like you can handle much of the front." He hands you all these weapons.
Question. If at a later date I came back and I was like, could I get this stock elongated so that my hand can better grip this thing? Would you be able to do that?
Yeah, I could probably put in some stock stuff, or if you find a special kind of metal, I could affix it, change it up.
Reaper signs really quick. Do you have my daggers here as well? And I think I had a sickle as well.
Oh yeah, my brother had that.
Reaper signs, oh, I'm sorry.
Here, I'll go get him. You see the same thing happen in reverse, where he turns around 180 degrees, the sounds of bones cracking, the limbs bending in reverse, and now that other man is standing in the exact same shoes. Well, how'd he do? What did you need?
I'm like horribly interested. I want to know how it works because it's terrifying to think of someone's bones turning around.
Oh, don't worry, I can explain it completely. It's fake shit, that's what it is.
You can always ask him if you're curious.
Do his feet turn around too?
Yes. It's one of those things where you kind of have to, like, blink because it doesn't feel right when it happens. Like, they turn around, and then it's like someone is standing there, a completely different person is standing in the exact same pose, but just the opposite direction all of a sudden. It's like a glitch in the Matrix. It doesn't feel right.
So I couldn't, like, sit there and say, do it again, and watch them go back and forth.
I mean, you can ask him.
I feel like that's gotta be some kind of wisdom save to overcome your own impulse to blink.
I think one of them would let that go, but the other one absolutely would not.
I think you're absolutely right.
Reaper signs that he's missing his 2 daggers and sickle.
Well, hold on, let me go get that stuff for you. And he walks around to the other counter, and he kind of goes to the back. And by the back, I mean, like, just behind the counter, you see just a pile of weapons on the ground. And he just starts, like, digging through it, throwing shit off to the side. He goes, aha! Here! Wine short sword!
You can see, like, a sweat drop go down, like, his forehead for a minute. Like, the anime style, he's minor illusioned it. And then he signs, no, it was 2 daggers and a sickle.
Oh, that's right. Let me go back in. And he goes digging back through this pile of swords. Aha! And he pulls it out, and they have blunted. And he goes, here you go!
Reaper looks at both of them.
Can I spot
And
sharper ones in the pile?
They seem all blunted or fucked up in some way, shape, or form.
Are these my daggers? Are they like mine for sure?
Reaper, these are your weapons. They've just not been taken care of, and they were just tossed in a pile.
Reaper just kind of, you can hear like a heavy sigh as he slots everything away, puts the sickle in his belt along with his 2 knives on either side. And he signs, thank you. It's very rigid text, almost like it's been on like a typewriter.
Can I spot any like hand grindstones in the room?
Why don't you roll perception? We'll see what everything you see in this hoarder's playground.
21.
With a 21, you see all kinds of blacksmith equipment that are all strewn about. Some of them look like they haven't been used in years. Some of them are standing on top of other ones. There's an anvil on top of a grindstone. There's a grindstone just knocked over on the side. You see one that looks like it was working well, but it's being used as a doorstop a little bit.
Alright, I'm gonna pick up the one that's a doorstop.
Oh, I need that to keep the door open.
Here, use this instead, and then can I just grab like a blade and jam it up as doorstop instead?
You just jam the sword and goes, alright, that's fine. I always appreciate the open door policy.
Alright, and then I'm just gonna leave with this massive grindstone.
I think we got everyone. Oh, we lost one. Hey,
You can see like the shock signs like pop up above Reaper's head, like a big emoji. He just points to it for a second, and then he points to you, and he brings up one of his arms and forms a bicep.
Yeah, I am.
And then he signs really quick, my wife was strong.
Oh. Whoa, alright, yeah, we should get going. We should start moving now, guys, I think. Alright.
And then he starts to cry. You can hear little soft sounds come from him.
I can't hear you, I'm moving too quick.
You guys quicken your pace over to the saloon?
I guess.
I think that's where we're going.
Alright.
Well, that's where I go when I'm crying.
This is the FeyWild West, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play. Our goal is to release these monthly, but everyone involved has day jobs, so pardon any potential delays. The crew involved in this show is Abby, who does all of the hand-drawn art, Casey, who assists in creating animation assets, Bradley Smith, who created our intro music, and I, Connor, put it all together. If you wanted to help out, we have a Patreon linked in the description to help cover some of the costs of sound effects and music licenses, as well as maybe upgrading some of our microphones. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it.